I said yesterday was going to be a great day, and in my opinion, it was. There's been a lot that's happened in 24 hours since we were last on. We are Kyle Brust and Ortman across ESPN Wisconsin. I am Ben Brust alongside Packer backer Kyle Wallace, and I'm not going to say something, Kyle, because I know you got a lot to say.
Yeah, I do have a lot to say. I do.
Brad Nortman, longtime NFL punter, here with us as well. Chris Larson running the show. 800-990-3776 is the ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line, and we want to hear from you, KBN Nation, on anything that has transpired in the last 24 hours. It's been a lot, from D-Bach kind of getting lost in the shuffle, in my opinion, being released. Devondre Campbell as well, opening up some monies to be spent.
We haven't. Is anybody even worried about where he's going to go?
No,
is that going to be reflective of the fact that
I'm gonna
move?
I'm gonna get to it. I mean, Josh Jacobs was. I'm going in time chronological order.
No, I'm just saying Devondre Campbell. Like, we spend so much time. We do prep him. I've seen on social media. We talked about D-Bach. I retweeted D-Bach's thing. We talked about Aaron Jones yesterday, and nobody's talked about Devondre Campbell.
Oh, forget him. He was injured and wasn't gonna play unless he was fully healthy. Gone forever. Don't care. He's not worth a speck of our time, other than letting us in the audience know that because he gone, we have Xavier McKinney and Josh Jacobs. Now, with that, like I had said, Josh Jacobs signed. We did 15 minutes from 2 to 2:15 yesterday, in the idea that Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones could be paired together in this magical world of Matt LaFleur having two perfect backs with each other. Aaron Jones then released. 3 o'clock rolls around, Xavier McKinney is signed. And then we wake up this morning to the news of Aaron Jones signing the 1-year, $7 million contract with the Minnesota Vikings. Yes, you heard it right. A lot of people emotional that the Aaron Jones that we all know and love, 7 years with the Green Bay Packers, put his blood, sweat, and tears into the organization, into the community, and on off field he was tremendous, a great leader for the team. Finito. But then, Kyle Wallace, he goes to play for the Purple. The Minnesota Vikings. Aaron Jones, who you were emotionally distraught about not being a part of this team. Your thoughts on Aaron Jones signing with the Minnesota Vikings?
Yeah, that sounded garbage, awful, terrible. Just as bad as the news when I found out. Listen, here's the thing. I thought Aaron Jones was better than this. Doesn't he understand? Doesn't he know? Minnesota, the Vikings, is where former Packers player go to die. That's where careers end. You never hear somebody, how great they were in Minnesota. Brett Favre had one good year in Minnesota. Then what happened? His incredible streak of starting so many games, where did it go?
I mean, you could say age had something to do with it.
That's harsh.
No, it's Minnesota. Garbage. You talk about other good players. Heck, you talk about Greg Jennings. Greg Jennings, great receiver for the Green Bay Packers. He go to Minnesota, and what happened? He ended up working in TV 4 years later. I'm telling you, this is where former Packers go to die. This is a bad move for Aaron Jones. I'm disappointed in Aaron Jones. I thought more than him. And for me, I care about the guy, right? He gave me so many great memories, so many great games. Heck, the last memory I have of him, literally, the last thing I remember him as a Packer is I think it was like a 52-yard run against the San Francisco 49ers. Like, I remember these great memories. I am so disappointed to know where his career is going, and we know it's going nowhere. I would have preferred he went somewhere where he could compete for something, but now all he's doing, he's just playing football. He's not playing for championships. He's not playing to win. He is just playing for a simple check, and it's unfortunate this is going to be how his career ends with the Minnesota Vikings, and then probably going to be a free agent, and then just walking off into the rest of history of NFL player, I guess.
Well, and don't forget Ryan Longwell, another longtime Green Bay Packer that went. Don't forget about the kicker, Kyle
I did not forget about Mr. Longwell.
But you're totally right. I mean, Aaron Jones is going to enter a completely different reality up there in Minnesota. I mean, he's going to. It sounds like Sam Darnold is likely going to be the quarterback there.
They'll likely draft and and if Sam Darnold plays 8 games and sucks, they'll throw in the rookie. But it's
going to be rough. I mean, a lot of 8-man boxes, and he's not going to have an elite quarterback to be able to work off of and be able to allow him to be his best. So he's going to be frustrated. And we all know that Green Bay is literally stamped on his heart and tattooed on his body. It's going to be hard for him to be completely bought in.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it will be. I mean, he's
already
for the
showing
money.
that by, in my opinion, Brad, if you were to when you signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars, if you were salty about what had happened with the Panthers, do you think the Jaguars and fans would have received you well? Because all I'm seeing is Aaron Jones right now with emojis and, like cap and like he's upset about how things are transpiring. And he's signed with the Vikings, but he's still clearly salty about the way that things ended with the Packers.
Yeah, because especially when you join a new team, you want the buy-in to be on that team, not looking back over your shoulder at your ex and being all hurt about what happened there, especially when it's a rival. So,
Zadarius Smith. Jaws chimes in. Another Green Bay Packer
he
went to the Vikings.
He ended up doing okay there. But he ran into issues again.
Yeah, so
he wasn't received well. Him and the coach didn't get along. It did not end well there.
I think he had another injury that he had.
I'm so glad it's not the other way around, that like we take the last pickings of another division rival to the Green Bay Packers. It does seem like it's output in different directions. I guess Julius Peppers worked out from the Bears, but I can't imagine what Aaron Jones is going through, and it's honestly not off to a good start with the Minnesota Vikings too, because he's so focused on what happened here in Green Bay, and it happened all very quickly in 1 year, $7 million. Looking at that, I mean, I shrug my shoulders at that.
So when you say you shrug your shoulders, just to reset a little bit on the Aaron Jones situation, from what it seems like, conversations stopped reportedly on Friday between Goody and Aaron Jones because, there's some telltale signs, obviously. They wouldn't have gone after Josh Jacobs the way they did if they had come to terms with the agent on the back end. I know it wasn't legal tampering, but there was obviously conversations between Aaron Jones' agent and the Green Bay Packers. And reports also had said that the Packers were looking for him to take 50% of a pay cut of what he was going to be paid, which was $12 million. Now, that's reports from what I would like to believe is likely the Packers saying that. And I think they're his agent probably messed this up for Aaron Jones, because if we're being real, right? He signed for one year $7. I guarantee the Packers were somewhere close to that, and it's like late in your career. To me, he got spiteful about the fact that he wasn't valued. He wanted to be more valued. His agent probably told him his value would be higher up in the open market, and he trusts that. And then he sees Josh Jacobs sign, and then he's seeing what's left over for him, and now he's like, "Damn it!"
Don't let your pride get in the way of your prosperity. And that is exactly what Aaron Jones allowed to happen. Aaron Jones' goal is to win a championship. Aaron Jones' goal is to be part of a winner. He doesn't want to be part of a rebuild. He doesn't want to be part of stuff like this. Like when you think about Aaron Jones picking up Tay Wick's chin, somebody going to need to pick his chin up on that football team, because that is his chin going to be down quite a bit. And again, we talked yesterday about the injuries. Aaron Jones, we know he's not going to be healthy all the time. This is going to be a tough transition from Aaron Jones going from one organization to another. And so, I'm disappointed in Aaron Jones, but I'm more hurt for the fact that the writing's on the wall, how the career's going to end. He ain't the first one to do this, and he going to figure out what everybody else went through. Is that
so? You're not blaming Goody for meeting him where he wanted to be paid. Because you're saying like I'm disappointed in Aaron Jones.
Sacrifices have to be made when you want to win championships, and if you want to win a championship, listen.
You could argue he's done it twice already.
He drew a line in the sand, and the line in the sand was, I already did this twice. I'm not doing it again. And so you make that decision that your pride is more important than your prosperity. And that's perfectly fine. But I don't want to see emojis. I don't want to see any emotions at this point. You knew since Friday that your tenure as a Green Bay Packer was going to be over. The reality set in at 1 o'clock yesterday or 12:30 yesterday, whenever the Packers, it was announced they signed Josh Jacobs. That's when the reality set in for you. He is still going through that coping process of moving on, but he needs to move on. He needs to move forward. And
she's younger. She's better looking. She's in her prime.
Gave her a bigger ring.
Yeah.
If he was acting right, he still had a ring.
And when you think about it, this is why you pay your agent, right? I mean, this is a real lack of self-awareness from either Aaron Jones' agent or himself.
But it's Drew Rosenhaus, who's a bigger name
he's a
in
big
the agent
shark,
world.
and he's going to try to soak up as much money as possible. But Aaron Jones was coming off of his least healthy season and least productive season of his career, outside of the first couple of years, but in recent history. So you got to know
and
that,
outside
plus,
the last games of the season. But your point is well taken.
In general. So in a competitive running back market, They should have known that we need to figure out what are Aaron Jones's priorities, particularly going into year 8, right? He wants to win at this point. He's not going to, yes, the money is nice, $7 million. You're never going to bat your eyes at that. But if he thought he was going to go on the open market and get 8 or 9, and the Packers did offer 6, I would think that he would say, I'd prefer to stretch out my time in Green Bay. Maybe we do 2 years, $12 million, so we can at least stretch it out for 2 years, and I can try to win. Not try to patch this together. I think it was just a huge lack of self-awareness from the agent and not pulsing the market correctly.
They did a very bad job at this because, again, it's about after the career, right? Like, what else can you do? And I was not joking when I called him the Donald Driver of this football team. Aaron Jones, had he played 3 more years and retired as a Green Bay Packer, would have been a lifer.
Even another year.
He could have followed the exact same trajectory and footsteps. He could have restaurants. He could be on TV. He could be doing all. That is the impact that he had. The folks that called him from KBN Nation yesterday, disappointed, they're not just talking about a football player. They're talking about the man that we're losing. But when you have that much of a connection and a relationship with this state that is so loyal, there is so much more prosperity that you can have.
Does that go out the
of
window? Like as a big time Packer backer, as someone who's seen a lot of Packers, obviously you have Leroy Butler, Charles Woodson. You have a lot of guys that do things in the Wisconsin market because of what they did here in Wisconsin. Does Aaron Jones going to the Vikings kill his Packer love, even though he's got the damn tattoo? And he took 2 restructures. He's been there. He helped Jordan Love. He helped these young guys. Because he's going to Vikings, you're throwing all that out?
There are people to this day. Brett Favre has not donned an NFL jersey in over a decade. Brett Favre only played 2 seasons in Minnesota. There are still people to this day that have disdain towards Brett Favre and ignore the greatness of what he brought to this franchise because he put on purple. If you think that Aaron Jones won't be held to that same level of eerie from people, you're confused and you're lost. They are going to be still upset that Aaron Jones...
Even though the Vikings are going to be irrelevant in this one season that he's probably going to be there?
He had a choice. I mean, I don't know what his choices were.
But that's the thing. His choices were slimming because of the way the running back market transpired yesterday. And he saw 1 year, $7 million. He's like, I didn't get what I wanted with the Packers. Now I better sign and get paid at least. So you can't blame him there.
Every decision, a lot of decisions have consequences, and the consequence he may face is the fact that he won't be held in such high regard because of the fact that he chose to go to the Minnesota Vikings.
So when he comes in against the Vikings and the Packers play, Kyle Wallace is in the stands.
I wouldn't boo him. I'm not booing him. I didn't boo Brett Favre. I'm not booing anybody except for Craig Counsell. That's the only person I'm booing. Everybody else, I'm cool. I'm legitimately cool with because I don't feel like I got backstabbed like I did with Craig Counsell. I'm not going to boo him. I feel bad for him. I feel so. You guys remember Dean Lowry?
Yeah.
I mean,
yes. He played. He just got cut by the Vikings. Did y'all know that?
No.
That is my exact point.
You can't put Dean Lowry and Aaron Jones in the same sentence.
What I'm saying is this is where every
down defensive lineman
where former Packers go to die.
Darren Sharper, is that true from Jeff and a Beer Truck?
Darren Sharper did play for the Minnesota Vikings as well. I didn't want to bring his name up because
I remember the
situation. The situation. He played for the Vikings as well. I mean, so there's guys that go there. Desmond Bishop, he's another one. Where it happened to him, it's where Packer players go for their career to die. So Aaron Jones, I hope you have fun watching your career fizzle out over the next year or two.
Well, especially when you go to a division rival. If he went to whoever, the Chargers, it feels less, right? Because I even think of our friend Brian Balaga, right? If he would have went to the Vikings as opposed to the Chargers, it feels different. You can't get that purple and yellow or the Bears out of your eyesight. But when it feels further away, less of a personal rivalry, I feel like it helps it a little bit. But there's no doubt his Packer imagery is tarnished a little bit.
Josh Sitton's another one. He went to the Chicago Bears. Ain't nobody talking about how much we love Josh Sitton.
True.
We don't hear having meetings about, hey, let's bring Josh Sitton in to do anything for us. No, we don't want that.
Will you boo Aaron Jones when he plays in Lambeau Field? 800-990-3776. Or will you remember him for being the guy who has a Green Bay tattoo on his body, who played for the green and gold, who did everything you asked? Because to be honest, I don't blame Aaron Jones. I don't blame Aaron Jones. I blame the agent, and I blame life. I blame the NFL. It's the harsh reality.
It is the hard business of the NFL. I just wonder if Aaron Jones, if he knew what he knows now, would he have still done it?
He
I don't
knew-
think he would have.
But here's the thing, though. When you think about it,
He'd been like, I'll take $4 million.
Yeah, I'll take the 6 and I'll stick around and keep me around. I want to be here. I want to win. I want to be a Packer.
can we name a Green Bay Packer outside of the quarterback position and maybe kicker position that has ever received the third contract? You get your rookie deal, you get that second big deal, and then who gets the third contract?
Not many.
Oof.
I mean, it's not the Packer way.
The writing,
not.
the writing is on the wall. He knew this. He saw this happen for many people before him, and it's just realizing what are the sacrifices that you're willing to make. You are 29, going on 30 this year. What is it that your goals are?
800-990-3776, 800-990-ESPN. That is our ESPN Wisconsin talk and text line. You can see us on YouTube at ESPN Madison, at ESPN Milwaukee. Get to the calls, get to the text. But first, Brad, pour one out, but also enjoy a Carbless.
I'm always going to be enjoying Carbless. That's because Carbless, it's my go-to drink whenever I'm looking to kick back, relax, and have a little bit of an alcoholic drink. And I was drinking Carbless all weekend last weekend. I already can't wait for next weekend. There's maybe even a chance I convince myself to have one tonight. That's because Carbless, it's so good. When you try it for the first time, the flavor, you will know what I'm talking about. This is not just like any other ready-to-made cocktail. This is handcrafted vodka and tequila and rum cocktails that just, they hit you with it when you have it. The weather's getting warm outside, so the fruit flavors, man, they're hitting different right now when it comes to raspberry, cranberry, pineapple, and lemon lime. But the classic cocktails, they're so good. It's like a bartender is right in front of you making the drink. The flavor is off the charts, but it doesn't stop there because you guys know me. Working out, healthy eating, it's a part of my life. That's why Carbless is a part of my life because there's no carbs, no sugar, 100 calories per can, gluten-free, less carbonation leading to less bloat, and they're made right here in Wisconsin. Carbless checks every box for me. That's why I know Liss is more. I want you to figure out why Liss is more. Find Carbless online and at retailers near you.
800-990-3776. We'll hear from you, KBN Nation, next.
You're listening to Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
Tyler, thank you for all that baby talk there and parenting talk. I'll take some of those tips.
I was getting ready for it right
Taking notes over there.
Taking some of those tips, taking some of those tips, those tips and storing them away. I do like nips as well. But Tyler,
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Ben Brust from Kyle Bruston Nortman to tell you how you can go to Vegas and have a chance to win $10,000. You can visit certain locations around Madison to play Pop-A-Shot to qualify for a chance to win. The top 5 scorers from each location will qualify for the finals on March 19th, and that winner will win a trip to Vegas courtesy of Bud Light to compete in the National Mini Hoops Championship and get $10,000 for winning that. On March 15th, visit Danny's from 7 to 8, Red Rock from 8 to 9, and Chasers 2.0 from 9 to 10.
Get to the live events you love with the assist from Vivid Seats. Whether it's the upcoming baseball season, basketball, or hockey, experience it live with a 100% buyer guarantee. And with great deals on great seats, being there is all that matters. Plus, with Vivid Seats rewards you can earn with every ticket purchase, including surprise seat upgrades, birthday discounts, free tickets, and more. Just visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids.
Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision?
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One N.A. member FDIC.
It's official. 2023 was the biggest jackpot year on record at Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison. Check out these totals. We had over 57,000 jackpots and more than $134 million in winnings. This shatters our previous record year, and we have no intention of stopping here. And with our 95% average payout, we continue to be the official home of the big win right here in Madison. Let's keep it going in 2024 with even more jackpots at
Ho-Chunk Gaming Madison.
Our kids deserve the best we can give them. Hi, this is Sarah Tauscher. If you're looking for somewhere that kids can learn, play, and enjoy family fun all at once, then register today in one of the spring youth programs at the Prairie Athletic Club. With 6 basketball courts, a full-size indoor soccer field, and swim lessons at one of the 5 indoor pools, they've got it all. Join today or visit as a guest and discover why the Pack is consistently voted the best place to work out and best thing for kids to do year after year. Visit prairieathletic.com. Prairie Athletic Club, family fun community.
I love playing sports. especially for my school. And that's because school sports are special. It's where it's safe to fail. It's where we're taught resilience, where our fear becomes confidence. It's where we learn to get back up after every fall. School sports are where 7.8 million students go from I can't to I can.
This message presented by the WIAA and the Wisconsin Athletic Directors Association.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owns. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the belt line at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because our home policies help protect your dreams and come with peace of mind. Save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, sponsored by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin and Wisconsin On Demand.
I know you. Can't stick to your drunken now show.
Tune in to Thanalysis Show every week on Bucks Plus. Thanalysis Antetokounmpo sits down with special guests to have fun and honest conversations. Conversations with NBA stars like Damian Lillard and Donovan Mitchell. Basketball media royalty Jay Williams and are already lining up a ton more guests as part of Season 2. Find Thanalysis Show on Bucks.com/plus, in the Bucks app, or on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Man, this is fascinating. Yesterday, as the news broke, did Packers GM Brian Gutekunst make the right move in signing Josh Jacobs and releasing Aaron Jones? 1,500 votes. 41% said yes. 59% said no. So we decided to run it back today. After a day of thinking it over, we asked the same question. Did Goody make the right choice? 76% yes, 24% no. And I like to attribute that to partially Aaron Jones ending up with the Vikings, even if it's unrelated to like the actual value of the players aesthetically, and he's just going to rot in Minnesota, as Kyle says, where Packer players go to die. I'm Ben Brust, Kyle Wallace next to me, alongside Brad Nortman and Chris Larson running the show. 800-990-3776. Let's go to Rob in Madison. Rob, welcome into Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. What do you got?
Hey, guys. Just wanted to say this is pretty typical of how the Packers handle veteran players. It's disappointing because he seems like a stand-up guy, great player, but we've seen this time and again where really good veteran players leave because we don't want to re-sign them, and they go on to continue and be impactful players other places they go. So a little sad about it, but we'll see what happens.
I think that's a fair take from Robin Madison. I think the hard part with this one is it seemed like because of Goody at the Combine saying that he wanted to have Aaron Jones a part of this team and then to be in negotiation and not come to a point where they both felt it could work, that's where it hurts a little bit more, in my opinion, because this wasn't like Jordy Nelson where they literally just lowballed him and gave him no opportunity to sign. They didn't even give him an offer that was worth looking at. Where here, it sounded like Goody, who publicly said he wanted to make it work. Bob and Heartland, 800-990-3776. You blame the Packers?
Yeah, I mean, the guy Goody came out and said he wanted him. Last couple of times he took pay cuts, and who knows? They might have told him last time, "Hey, we'll make it up to you," and then this time they want him to take another pay cut. They should have paid him something. They could have paid him a little bit to keep him, I think.
Yeah, and I appreciate the perspective, but I'll turn to you, Brad. I mean, I think in theory, right, you want to make guys whole, and you could say, have you heard of empty promises in the NFL?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, don't get me started on empty promises.
Wait a minute. Did you experience any empty promises?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
who got you?
I want to hear this story.
Oh, man, here we go.
Wow.
I know our audiences want to hear punter stories, but my last year at the Jags, we were going on that AFC Championship run, and we had an elite defense, we had an average offense, and we had a solid special teams. And so I was basically told by our special teams coach at the time, hey, here's what we're going to do when it comes to punting. We can't afford to give up a punt return. We can't risk it. That means we can't flip the field. We need to get fair catches. We need to get very manageable situations for our defenses because it's just going to be a back and forth defensive struggle. So we're looking for 45-yard fair catches. Can you do that? We're not looking for the 60-yard bomb.
The B-52 bomber.
They're trying to muzzle me. And he's like, we're not looking for the 60-yard bomb where we cover them and get a 50-yard field flip. We're looking for conservative play. And he's like, but we got you. We know how good of a punter you are, and we know this is all gonna, we know you're doing this for the team, right? Sure enough, comes around, they draft the punter, and when they release me,
what'd they say?
They said, your stats were lower this year.
Oh no, hell!
And I was like, you've got to be freaking kidding me! I was super pissed.
Did you chirp back?
Pissed. Yeah, I was like, well, that was part of the game plan. And then, they're like, well, you know how it is, and, cap room. And it's just excuses after excuses. So this is not new in the NFL. And honestly, when it comes down to it, when it comes to Goody, when it comes to all these NFL GMs, they're cold, they're calculating. It's cutthroat. That's what you have to be.
But you need to be, right?
You have to be emotionless. You have to be kind of a jerk. And I'm not saying Goody's a jerk, or the Jaguars were a jerk when they cut me.
They were,
but they were jerks. And just when you look at it, this is how the business is run. You're always looking, can we get younger? Can we get cheaper? Can we get more productivity out of that?
800-990-3776. Don in Madison, your reaction to Aaron Jones on the Vikings.
Yeah, so here's my take. Gutekunst, had a decision to make a couple of years ago on a very, a similar type of player, when they decided to stick with David Bakhtiari for the last 2 years where he basically did nothing. And, Jones is at 29, 30, right? That age where, running backs just start to run out to the pasture and they're done. And he just said, not again. I'm not going to, that's just my take is I'm not going to make that same mistake, right? Because they sat there for 2 years with David Bakhtiari when we knew, he knew in his gut that he probably should have just let him go. But, hey, he was another one of those, heart of the team kind of guys. And, so was Aaron Jones, but he had to make the decision. So that's just my take.
And thank you for the call, Don. I don't think they're exactly apples to apples, but I do understand the point of, moving on before it's too late. I mean, when we say it out loud, and we've had 24 hours, Kyle, 29 turning 30 this year is like 40 in dog years of NFL running backs.
Yeah, it is. And as we're thinking, right, as you're talking now, one thing I'm thinking about?
I don't.
Is Goody really took for granted Aaron Jones because of going back to what two callers ago just said, and shout out to everybody calling in here on KBN, is that Goody said absolutely, right? He said, we expect to have him back. And I think he really just took our boy Aaron Jones for granted and understanding that he's a human being, and there's only so much that you can ask from somebody, right? But I don't think this was part of the plan. I don't think when he left last at the end of football season last year, I don't think this was part of the plan of we're going to move on from Aaron Jones. This is a pivot that he had to make, and I applaud him for making this strong of a pivot.
Yeah, but Goody's not wrong in that. He can at the same time want Aaron Jones back, but then also say this is what we are willing to give you to come back. He's still not wrong in at least what he ended up offering because just the age and the health issues.
And one thing that, and again, NFL grown men, they'll get over is that the morale of this football team is something that we need to think about as well. And yesterday we talked about who's going to be the leader. Jason Willie said, I don't know. But the morale of this football team is something that's important to me, and it should be important to everybody who has some type of vested interest in the success of the Green Bay Packers.
Now, your morale has slipped in 24 hours. If players were hurt, they're gonna flip. The sun comes out tomorrow, and guess what? At the end of the day, you signed a top 2 running back in free agency and a top 2 safety in free agency, and that doesn't happen in Green Bay. And we'll continue to talk about that, but I got to hear about Underdog because the MKE basketball team. Woohoo!
Yes. This is so exciting for me because I am a Milwaukee Panthers fan. And speaking of the Milwaukee Panthers,
say it proud.
The Milwaukee Panthers are playing in the Horizon League Conference Tournament Championship game today. You can hear it right here on 94.5 ESPN, simulcasted with 101.7 The Truth. If they win today, they go to the tournament, and I'm excited because I can go to the Underdog Fantasy app just like you can, and you can play and watch the game with Underdog Fantasy. as I am. Here's how Underdog Fantasy works. You can pick 2 to 5 players from at least 2 different teams, then select higher or lower on those player stats. If your picks hit, you could win up to 100 times your money. It is that easy to do. I plan on doing it tonight where I'm picking B.J. Freeman on the higher, Kendrell Pulliam on the higher as well. So fun as the Milwaukee Panthers take on the Oakland University Golden Bears tonight at 6 o'clock. But I'm telling y'all right now, make sure you download the Underdog Fantasy app so you do not miss out on getting in the game, picking higher or lower on all these player stats, and winning up to 100 times your money. And when you do that, I want you to sign up using promo code KBN. That is promo code KBN, and Underdog Fantasy will match your first deposit up to $100. It's going to be so fun to play. So visit UnderdogFantasy.com right now or download the easy-to-use mobile app, Underdog Fantasy, in the App Store, and have them match your deposit up to $100 using promo code KBN. You must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms do apply. Concerned with your play, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Get in the game today with Underdog Fantasy as the Milwaukee Panthers are playing on ESPN Milwaukee tonight.
Mark Tauscher, Packers Hall of Famer, joins us next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman, KBN.
Student Athlete Support Fund is something I was looking at. I'm ultimately likely going to give to this College of I was in life.
Long week. On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Ben Brust here, and if you want a shot to win a trip for 2 to Vegas and $10,000 courtesy of Bud Light, well, you have to visit certain locations around Madison and play Pop-A-Shot for a chance to win. The top 5 scorers from each location will qualify for the finals on March 19th. The winner from the finals will win a trip to Vegas courtesy of Bud Light to compete in the National Mini Hoops Championship for 10 G's. Make sure you get to Wando's tonight from 9 to 10:30 p.m. and Jay's from 10:30 to midnight. You have a chance to win 10 G's. Just qualify, baby.
Since J&K Security Solutions opened in 1987, our attention to detail and customer service have been our strongest assets. I'm President Jeffrey Beckman. We'll always do our best to find the most efficient and cost-effective solution to every job we tackle. Whether it's security for your home or business, installing video surveillance, or being able to control your garage doors from your phone, we can help you feel empowered with simple and user-friendly technology. Let's work together to secure your home or business. jksecurity.com.
Make it a real Mad March with a playoff payout at Potawatomi. Every week you could score your share of $100,000 in cash and free play. Play this March for drawing entries. Win each Thursday. Plus, the prizes refresh every week for even more winners. The playoff payout at Potawatomi, Milwaukee. It's anyone's game. For more details, visit paysbig.com/payout. Must be 21 and a club member to play.
Mark Tauscher here for Chalmers Jewelers. I've been a big fan of Scott and Garrett and the whole team at Chalmers Jewelers for years now. I go there, my friends go there, and most importantly, my wife loves it whenever I get her something from Chalmers Jewelers. Well, what's right around the corner? Mother's Day. Show some love to the incredible women in your life and stop at Chalmers Jewelers, the place to go for that perfect gift. I recommend Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton and Madison.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
and Madison. If you're an employer looking to tap into the next strong generation of local prospective employees, then you can't miss this. 95.3 WBEV, ESPN Beaver Dam, and DailyDodge.com will be hosting the South Central Wisconsin Career Expo on April 23rd. From 9:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Beaver Dam High School Fieldhouse, businesses will have the opportunity to meet with hundreds of eager juniors and seniors from area high schools, as well as adult job seekers. Employers can find more information and purchase a booth on the Career Expo page at DailyDodge.com.
Get the beat of the Bucks straight from a fan favorite and Bucks legend. Tap into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production. Your weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks and conversations with the biggest names in basketball. This week, Marcus and his son Chris are joined by ESPN NBA writer Jamal Collier.
People shouldn't overlook that because he has been consistently dominant every single night.
Find Here District now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcast.
ESPN Madison is on Wisconsin Sports. Catch up on anything you missed on the Varsity Podcast on Wisconsin On Demand. Brought to you by Zimbrick Honda, a proud supporter of Wisconsin Badger Athletics. If you're looking to purchase, finance, or service a new or pre-owned Honda, shop local, part of the Madison community since 1973.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
You're listening to Kyle, Brust, and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Some days the intro song for Mark Tauscher just hits a little bit different. A lot is unwritten, but a lot is being written during free agent tampering right now. And the Green Bay Packers are making splashes. Top 2 running back, top 2 safety. We welcome in the Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher into Kyle, Brust, and Nortman. Tausch, how are you?
I'm doing good, fellas. How are you guys?
Doing well. And, obviously the conversation around Aaron Jones has evolved a lot from us doing 15 minutes on the air right when you had tweeted that it's going to be really fun watching Josh Jacobs and Aaron Jones together, to the release, to him sign with the Vikings. Look, it was a fun 15 minutes. I tell you what, we were like, Matt LaFleur, go to work. Now, with that, he signed with the Vikings, and Kyle's talking about how this is where Packers players' careers go to die, and he's got a lot of examples. But I think the 7 years that Aaron Jones has spent with the Packers, he got the tattoo. Do you think he's lost like that luster of like coming back to Wisconsin just by signing with the Vikings? Does this do him in?
No, not at all. I don't know anyone. I mean, obviously, when he comes as a Viking, I'm sure they'll do a little jumbotron deal and all that, but we're going to root against him. But he is going to be, when he retires, like almost every Packer that went up to Minneapolis, whether it's Brett Favre or Ryan Longwell, or you can insert whomever else is on that list, they come back and retire as Green Bay Packers. So Aaron Jones will always be a Packer. He's going to be one of the best. Wish him nothing but good luck in Minnesota, with the exception of the games he plays against Green Bay. But no, he's still going to be beloved, but it'll take some time when he comes back. He is always going to be a Green Bay Packer.
So potentially we got some tequila, sombrero thing going, bringing that to market?
The pink sombrero or a purple sombrero?
No, like an Aaron Jones tequila. He's got the post-career
He
in
threw
Wisconsin.
that all away when he signed with the purple demons.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about all that. I mean, I think he's probably going to be, he's also big down in El Paso, and, how he chooses to spend his time afterwards, I don't know. But my point is, you're always going to be associated with one team. There's very few guys. I think Charles Woodson probably is split. He's won his championship with Green Bay, but had a great career, both bookending it in Oakland. But Aaron Jones, unless he goes off and plays 7 years and leads Minnesota to a championship, I don't envision that even being part of a conversation.
From a Packers perspective, Tausch, now that we know contract details and what the Packers allegedly offered and what Jones got, and we know details about Jacobs' contract now, can we say that Goot unequivocally made the right move?
Well, I don't know if you could say unequivocally, because you still have to see things shake out, but Goody has kind of showed us how his viewpoint on players are. He wants players that are in that 25 to 28. He doesn't want guys that are heading into their 30s. He didn't want to pay him big money. And I think with Aaron Jones, he was willing to make an exception, but it had to be on his terms. And when that didn't happen, he was able to go find a player that he thinks is really good and is going to be about the same from a price point standpoint. With all that said, he was mentioning how difficult the decision was and everything else. But if he really wanted Aaron Jones to be on this team, they would have figured out a way to find a way to do it. But Josh and Heartland, who you guys know, who you've worked with musically, one of the great fans of our station, reminded me this morning that Brian Gutekunst tried to get Jonathan Taylor last year. that should have been a stark reminder to us that he wanted to upgrade that position. And when you think back to that and you start understanding how he views things, I think Aaron Jones has been really good. He has not been as durable. He's not a workhorse 25 bat. You want to keep him in that 15 to 20, and I think they want more of a workhorse than maybe what Aaron Jones was going to do in the back half of his career. So you get it. I still think that would have been great for Aaron Jones to be there with Josh Jacobs. That could have been a lot of fun to watch. But the bottom line is they were never going to spend $20 million a year as in between a combination of two running backs when it comes to the salary cap. That was never feasible for the Green Bay Packers and Brian Gutekunst. And once they decided that once Josh Jacobs decided to accept that offer, the writing was on the wall. It was not unwritten that Aaron Jones was going to be going somewhere else.
Joined by Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher here on Kyle Brust and Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin.
Tauscher, I'm sitting here looking at your career because you are a lifer as a Green Bay Packer, and I much so appreciate that. That's why you have all the love of the state of Wisconsin. Before I ask you this question, did you know you had a tackle in every season of your football career in the NFL?
I did not know that, and it's something that obviously I take a ton of pride in that I was able to finish my career here. But the playoff game where I think I had 2 or 3 tackles when Brett threw 6 picks, I take a lot of pride in that.
Oh, wow.
But the bottom line on that is things kind of worked themselves out. Had I not gotten hurt, I don't know if that would have been the case in my contract years. I don't know how all that would have shaken out. But for most players, you're going to get to a point where you feel like your value is higher and you want to go test it and you want to see what's out there. And in Aaron Jones's case, I think if you ask Aaron Jones in a year, I don't know how his time in Minnesota is going to go, but I would bet for $1 million which is about what that difference ended up being, if you believe the reports. I would bet that Aaron Jones is probably looking at this and saying, should have probably figured out a way to stay in Green Bay. That is going to be my guess as far as how that shakes out.
Yeah, he's going to find out it was not worth it. But looking on the Packers side of things, how does this play out in the locker room and filling that void and losing that leadership and that voice of Aaron Jones?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's obviously going to be a blow, and you heard Goody say all the positive things about Aaron Jones. But the bottom line is Jordan Love is going to be ready to elevate himself into that role. That's not going to be an issue. And Josh Jacobs, I believe I saw on some of the pictures, had a big fat C on his jersey.
You know who else
and
does?
Obviously, McKinney
Boom.
also on the defensive side of the ball. Big fat C on his. So leadership changes year to year. I mean, obviously quarterback, typically it stays. But there were years Jair was the captain. There was a year Za'Darius was the captain. That changes. It comes down to, who you are, character-wise, everything else. But typically the best players or the leaders on those units are the best players. And in this case, Josh Jacobs, I think, is going to have a really good shot at jumping right in there. I think, Jason mentioned this morning, he thinks Reed is going to be somebody that's got great leadership qualities in that receiver room. Someone else will emerge. It's the cycle of life in the NFL. And while we all value veteran leadership and everything else, the bottom line is, are you performing up to what your contract is asking? And are you going to perform in the year that you're getting paid and be a big-time contributor at that value? And if you're not, I don't care how great of a guy you are or how much, good speaking you do or what you do off the field. This is a bottom-line results business. And if you're doing it and it's at a value that your team feels is good, they will be happy to keep you. And if it's not, they will be more than happy to move on and trying to find a cheaper, younger, more inexpensive value that they think will help their football team win.
Old T, do you think the signing of these two guys to Green Bay will help with a little bit of a trickle-down effect of, even some of these lighter free agents that are veterans that might be trying to figure out where they go and might take, 3.7 over 2 years to go to the Packers over 2 years over 4 because of what moves they just made?
I mean, I think money is always going to trump everything, but in these cases, when it becomes, hundreds of thousands of dollars instead of millions, I think players are always looking for, can we win? And if we can, who's the quarterback? Is this going to be a place that values that? Because when all's said and done, NFL players, we all want to squeeze every last nickel out of the situations that we're in. but we want to also be remembered as winners, and we want to be a part of losing seasons. You can ask Joe Thomas this. You lose a bunch, it is a grind, and it is hard. And there's a price tag that it's a difference that you'll suck it up and do it. But most guys for $100,000 or a couple $100,000 would much prefer be on a winning team that's got playoff potential, and you're not just playing out the string when it comes to December. That's a thing where when you have a good football team, veteran players will look at it and say, yeah, I kind of want to be a part of that.
Anything for us, Tausch? If not, I got one more for you really quick.
Yeah, sure, go ahead. I don't have anything for you guys.
We've had a lot of conversations about free agency, right? How the heck is Xavier McKinney? Why did the Giants let someone of his caliber go?
It's always a fascinating question that I think about, especially around the trade deadline too. Like, why did they not want to keep him? Why did they not want that? And when you start adding all that up, I think this is just a case where it's a lot of money to pay, and with a team that probably isn't going to win right away, I think that's probably why they did let him go. And, we'll see. It's one thing, he's a captain. He's somebody that the New York Giants obviously valued. So I don't know why that's the case, but that's always a question, and you should always ask that when it comes to, trade deadline. When a guy doesn't get a second contract from a team, why did they not do that? And you should ask that question very deeply when you do.
Thanks, Old T. Hope you got to your destination safely.
We did. Thanks, buddy.
All right, that's Old T. Mark Tauscher of Wilde and Tausch from 9 to noon across these various stations. He knows about windows, and so does Brad.
That's right, because Mark Tauscher loves Pella. I love Pella. We all love Pella. I know Ben Brush just bought a new house. I think he might love some Pella here soon as well. That's because Pella, it's top of the line. It revitalizes and protects your house, gives it a new look. Especially with this time of year where it's hot, cold, and you want to increase the value of your house, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is where you need to go to do that. And now is the time to get that done. That's because between now and March 31st, you can get 0% interest. That's right, you heard me. 0% interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Guys, you know me, former accounting, finance guy. 0% interest in this market. You can't find that anywhere else. This is a deal, and it's your opportunity to take advantage of it, to get Pella Windows and Doors in your house right now and pay later. For 3 years, in fact. 0% interest for up to 3 years, but you got to order by March 31st. See your free consultation at PellaWI.com.
And as you say that, I see temps to plummet. That sucks. Well, that's why you need good windows. 800-990-3776. 800-990-ESPN. We just talked to Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher. We'll hear from another Packers tackle, Brian Bulaga. His reaction yesterday, I think he's off base. Yeah, I'm calling out the former Packer.
This is Kyle Brust and Nortman.
DKB, they get all my love, all my energy, and all my time. I'll be danged if GKB and Craig not going to allow me to take my half-an-hour boo-boo. If I need to do that, they need to allow me to do that.
That's your whole lunch break.
I don't even take a lunch break. I work during lunch.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
Varsity on Wisconsin On Demand is home to all the latest and best Badgers content on ESPN Wisconsin. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts. On Tuesday, the Big Ten announced its all-conference team selections for men's basketball, and 4 Badgers make the list. A.J. Storr headlined the selections, making the All-Big Ten second team and becomes the first Badgers second-team selection since Brad Davison in 2022. Chucky Hepburn and Tyler Wall each earned their second honorable mention accolades in their careers. And freshman John Blackwell became the 9th player in program history to earn Big Ten All-Freshman team accolades. The Badgers are set to tip off Big Ten tournament action Thursday afternoon.
Get no interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Don't wait. You have to order by March 31st. Visit PellaWI.com.
Ben Brust from Kyle, Brust, and Nortman to tell you how you can go to Vegas and have a chance to win $10,000. You can visit certain locations around Madison to play Pop-A-Shot to qualify for a chance to win. The top 5 scorers from each location will qualify for the finals on March 19th, and that winner will win a trip to Vegas courtesy of Bud Light to compete in the National Mini Hoops Championship and get $10,000 for winning that. On March 15th, visit Danny's from 7 to 8, Red Rock from 8 to 9, and Chasers 2.0 from 9 to 10.
All 5 divisions, all 5 state champions crowned.
For the first time since 1934, state champion.
And they'll raise the gold ball, Division 5 state champion.
The WIAA State Boys Basketball Championships.
Brilliant Lions have won the Division 3 state championship here at the Kohl Center.
Zimbrick Honda's championship presentation of Prep Mania from the Kohl Center. Saturday on 100.5 ESPN and Wisconsin On Demand.
At Starion Bank, they pride themselves on being a super community bank. Small enough to show they care about you and the communities they serve, while being large enough to make big things happen. With 3 Madison area branches in Middleton, Sun Prairie, and Monona, Starion Bank is here investing in your community while offering valuable personal and business banking services. Start your experience with Starion Bank today by going to starionbank.com. Member FDIC.
Jim Rutledge here to talk to you about North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, the official barbecue joint of Rutledge and Hamilton and the official barbecue joint of the Rutledge household. We love going to all 3 of their locations, whether it's in DeForest, Madison, or in Verona. We get the same great service and food every time we go, no matter the location. Even better, when we have parties, cookouts, or anything in between, I don't have to spend all my time over the grill. Instead, I give a call to the folks at North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. So hurry in to North and South Seafood and Smokehouse, the official barbecue joint of Rutledge and Hamilton and the official barbecue joint of the Rutledge household.
Time to start thinking about a summer job? Jesse Nelson here, and Madison School and Community Recreation is now hiring for many positions, including day camp and youth program leaders, outdoor adventure staff, support staff for individuals with disabilities, sports instructors and officials, and more. Full and part-time positions with daytime and evening hours are available. No matter your interest, schedule, or location, there's a position for everyone. At MSCR, you can make an immediate impact in the community and gain meaningful experience. Start your summer adventure today. Apply at mscr.org.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN, on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Oh, baby, now this is some breaking news.
It's breaking news because I think this price tag is huge, and obviously more details to come out, but the Packers are bringing back their all-pro returner, Keyshawn Nixon, to a 3-year, $18 million deal.
Too soon on that button there, buddy.
That can go to a 19.2 max. So when I read that initially, when you see a number, and then you see the total number, and then you see can go up to, that likely means it's probably a little bit more front-loaded on guarantee. And I mean, because what did you happen to look up what he was last year?
Let me look up that.
It was like one for $3 million, I'm pretty sure. And I'm sitting here myself, Keyshawn Nixon. He is an all-pro returner. But did this all-pro returner take one to the house this year? No. Does this all-pro returner get to take all the kickoffs out? No, because touchbacks are an all-time high. You play in indoor stadiums. Now, I guess in Green Bay there is some value there because you're outdoors. But that's a lot of money for an average slot corner at best. And a returner, which return game is like almost going away. What happens? Hey, just passed the rule. No more kickoffs. You gonna spend all that money on Keyshawn Nixon?
Yeah, his contract yesterday was 1 year, $4 million, with including a $1.8 million signing bonus.
Yeah, like what did Keyshawn Nixon do, even from a slot corner perspective, where you're like, yeah, we got to have him back, and that returner position's really valuable in the NFL right now.
Here in Green Bay, we've seen what a really good slot corner looks like, right? We had a Casey Hayward who played really well and played himself into a great contract over there with the Chargers. We had a Micah Hyde who was a Swiss Army knife who could be anywhere on the field. Keyshawn Nixon does not have that same impact. Like Ben just said, you didn't sit there and pop out and say, ooh, Keyshawn making all those great plays. There's one play that I remember that he made this year, and that was against the Kansas City Chiefs. Other than that play, I mean, and then he made a bad play at the end of the or in the second half of the game against the San Francisco 49ers in the NFC divisional round.
Was it Nixon who lost communication on the Tommy DeVito drive?
Yep, that's exactly right.
Yeah, well, and so it just doesn't add up to me. And the biggest culprit to me is Rich Bisaccia has way too much control over stuff. Like you laugh, I'm dead serious. Rich Bisaccia.
What does he have on Goody? Because he's getting whatever he wants, and they were 28th in special teams.
He got something. He drafted Anders Carlson. That's his name, correct? Anders.
Why are you getting it right?
Anders
Carlson, who was a average kicker in college football, not a good kicker in college football. And then we brought in Keyshawn Nixon, which before it was a pretty good deal. But you're talking about 3 years, $18 million for a guy that I don't know the last time he returned a punt for a touchdown. And then as the slot corner, he just seems mad. And you talk about getting younger, right? That's something that actually, when we just had Old T on, he talked about getting younger. And this isn't a get younger and improve and try to maximize what you can for the least amount of money as possible. This is not that type of move. I'm a little disappointed in this.
Well, if he can be an elite returner, and if he can be, I would say even above, like more than above average slot, this contract makes sense. I'm just not sure he was either last year. I think he can be an elite returner, but you're right, Ben. He did nothing in 2023 to lead me to believe, oh, yeah, he took a step forward as a returner. And I never felt like he was an asset in coverage. I kind of felt like he filled space, maybe was more of a liability. Now, again, how much is that is Joe Barry's scheme? How much of that is something different? Maybe he plays better man-to-man. Maybe he plays more physical under Hafley's scheme. So this surprised me. That was pretty rich for my blood.
We talked about the Packers need a field-tilting player, right? And field-tilting players come in all three phases of the game. When I look at Keyshawn Nixon, he is not a field-tilting punt returner or kickoff returner. And that's what my issue.
I mean, he's an all-pro returner.
Was he in 2022?
His performance to me is seeing somebody go to the house.
He was still all pro.
He was good.
Brad, talk to him about special teams and yards and what they matter, even if he's not getting to the house.
I mean, he can be lethal. He can be. I just didn't see it all the time. 2022, there's no doubt. It's like, oh, wow, we found our guy. We finally found a lethal returner. He didn't do a whole lot last year, but he might not have had a ton of opportunity. But it is important to have that guy that is feared.
I'm used to guys, when you talk about feared, I'm used to guys where a team needs a spark. He gives the team the big spark that they need. Keyshawn Nixon last year, I can't recall anything that pops out of my head where he gave a spark other than against the San Francisco 49ers, where he fumbled at the end of the long kickoff return. Well, he is a threat, but he's not field tilting to me.
As you know, I like to talk out of my mouth a little bit. And Josh DiMaggio, producer of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, always there to keep me accountable. Why big changes to NFL kickoffs could be near and how the XFL could help. Kickoff could be changing next season, making returns more frequent. Still doesn't change my opinion about like the price that we're seeing, and again, details to come out. And I would be dumb in not doing the show a service if I didn't read this, because we were having a conversation about Aaron Jones and if you would end up booing him because he signed with the Minnesota Vikings. Josh DiMaggio chimes in as well. I'm not going to boo Aaron Jones when he returns the Lambeau in street clothes on the sideline with a hammy or something. That's mean.
That's good, though.
Hilarious.
That's really good.
That is.
Josh is always on.
You know what's also good? Palermo's pizza. It's absolutely delicious. You know I love Palermo's. I've talked about the thin and crispy. I've talked about the tavern-style pizza with that cracker crust, 2.5 feet of stuffed crust cheese in the I'm stuffed, and then the OG Screamins'. I had a thin and crispy the other night, and it just hit different. And then it depends on your mood. If I think on weekends, if I'm making a frozen pizza, I go to the OGs or the stuffed crust because I know I want to lay on the couch and I don't have to get up and go to work. So, I have those thin crusts during the week. They literally have a pizza for every mood that you're in. And so I love Screamin' Sicilian, especially because those OGs and the thin and crispies always hit. The Bessie's Revenge, the Holy Pepperoni, the Mother of Meat, the Boss Hog, the Supremus Maximus, the Ultimate Deluxe, the Mambo Italiano.
Mambo!
Taste what all that screaming is all about, and let's get caller number 8 for Josh Jacobs. Caller 8 for Josh Jacobs. 800-990-3776. Because guess what? It's time to play Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? Am I 10-7-1 or 9-7-1?
9-7-1.
9-7-1. Guaranteed to be
don't be
above
inflating that
500. I'm trying. He keeps a tight list over there. 15 questions, 90 seconds. You're allowed to say skip or pass. Winner wins pride of beating me and also a $25 gift card. 800-990-3776. 800-990-ESPN. Caller 8 for Josh Jacobs. Are you smarter than Ben Brust? In 2 minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Don't put your life on.
Ben Brust here to tell you about Zimbrick European. They're Mercedes, Audi, Porsche, and certified pre-owned. But the best part is I've been working with them since 2018, and the evolution has been a 2-door, a 4-door, and now it's time for an SUV. My life has changed, and it's changed with Zimbrick European. Being a dad has made it really important to have the comfort and the safety that the SUV will bring me. Again, Zimbrick European off the belt line at Rimrock Road. Of course, I found the sexiest car on the lot. Check them out.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, sponsored by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin and Wisconsin On Demand.
Hey, this is Eric Name of The Athletic. You're listening to Madison's home of the Bucks, 100.5 ESPN, WTLX Monona, Madison, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studio, this is your Metro Kia of Madison Sports Center.
Good afternoon, Madison. My name is Colin Russo, and this is your Sports Center update, brought to you by Prep Mania. Catch ESPN Wisconsin's coverage of the WIAA state semifinals and state championships coming up this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday all day. You can catch that right here on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel. Shifting to the Packers side of things, the official tampering period for the NFL opened up yesterday, and the Green Bay Packers were very busy. They made a splash early on, taking on a former Raider running back, Josh Jacobs, and saying goodbye to longtime loved running back Aaron Jones. They also made a couple other moves, including the departure of left tackle David Bakhtiari and linebacker Devondre Campbell. But they brought in former Giants safety Xavier McKinney for a 4-year contract worth a whopping $68 million. The new league year officially begins tomorrow. For the Bucs side of things, coming out hot to start the second half of the season, the Bucs dropped 2 in a row last week on their West Coast road trip, but they've responded nicely on Sunday against the Clippers. They got the Sacramento Kings tonight, tip-off 9 p.m. KBN to you right now.
Metro Kia of Madison, Madison's trusted Kia dealer. Stop into Metro Kia on the east side of Madison or metrokiaofmadison.com.
Broadcasting live from the Everlight Solar Studios in Madison, this is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, KBN. Sponsored by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin, ESPN Madison on YouTube, and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
We are rolling along, and it is just busier than ever. We've got breaking news left and right from NFL free agency. It seems to be nonstop. I'm Brad Nortman alongside Kyle Wallace and Chris Larson running the show. Ben Brust is not in his seat. He's behind me somewhere back here in the 3rd Street Market Hall. Because I feel like I need to take a breath. I think we need to take a little bit of a break from NFL free agency. We need to regroup. No better way to regroup than a little bit of Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? And our contestant today to take on Ben Brust, who I will be rooting for, who I know KBN Nation is rooting for, Kyle Walsh is rooting for, is Mick in Madison. Mick, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing great. How do you feel about your chances to beat Ben Brust today?
You know, I feel pretty good. I know Benny Boy's been on a roll for a while, but I think we can end that today.
Mick is correct. Ben is 10-7-1 in Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust, but 9-7-1, excuse me, not 10-7-1. We cannot give Ben too much.
Yeah, don't speak.
He's looking for a 3rd straight win.
Okay, don't speak that into existence.
No,
we want our boy Mick to get that win today.
And I think Mick has what it takes. Yes, absolutely. Has what it takes to do it. I like the confidence in his voice. So, Chris, without any further ado, let's spin it.
Are you smarter than a fifth grader? 'Cause it's gonna be a test later. Teacher, never back in school. Are you smarter than you used to be?
For those of you who say Ben Brust is an idiot, here's your chance to be proven right. It's time to play Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust?
We have Mick and Madison as our contestant today, facing off against Ben Brust. And Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? And just to remind everyone how the game is played, it's 15 questions in 90 seconds to get as many answers correct as you can. You're allowed to say pass, and we will come back to you if you get through the rest. If you beat Ben Brust, which I'm pulling for, you will win a $25 gift card. Mick, any questions before we get going?
No.
Excellent. Well, Chris, let's get the clock started in 3, 2, 1. What is the most widely grown crop in the Middle Colonies? What was the most crop in the Middle Colonies?
Corn.
How many countries are in Africa?
Oh, gosh. 50. Over 50.
How many syllables are in the word creation?
3.
The Statue of Liberty was a gift to the U.S. from where?
France.
What do you call a scientist who studies rocks?
Geologist.
What 4 countries make up the United Kingdom?
England, Scotland, Wales, and Ireland.
What is the capital of Montana?
Billings.
What was the year of the first moon landing?
69.
Which of the 7 wonders of the world is still standing today?
Oh, gosh. Pass.
What president came after Abraham Lincoln?
Pass.
What is an animal that eats only plants is known as what?
Herbivore.
What travels faster, sound or light?
Light.
What is the hottest planet in the solar system?
Uranus.
What was that one more time, Mick?
The hottest?
The hottest
Let's
planet.
go with Mercury.
Okay. Chris, how many we got Mick for?
I got Mick for a 7 spot.
I have a question.
Yes.
On question 6 before Ben comes in. The 4 countries that make up the United Kingdom.
I gave it to him. Still,
Okay,
yeah.
we're gonna give that to him.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that too.
Yep.
I was gonna say that too. Okay, we're good to go.
Don't have me in no controversy today.
No,
y'all.
no controversy.
So Ben made me laugh on air because he did something inappropriate and it got caught on the screen.
Oh, perfect.
So I hope that's not a distraction for Mick.
Yeah, well, I think Mick was calling in. I'm not sure he was watching.
Yeah, well, I didn't know if my noise of me laughing at Ben
gotcha.
doing something off.
I think he rolled right through it when you laughed. So
did you hear it?
I heard you laugh.
I heard it. Yeah.
What I will say
Sure
is,
did.
it was good to actually have Kyle engaged in this segment and not taking a nap.
Oh, stop! I was distracted by you.
You called me. You called me in. That was the first time that I haven't had to be like, "Can I come in? Can I come in?"
Can I come in? And usually it's not yet.
All right.
Well, Ben Brust is back in.
Well, he distracted me, so I didn't even hear most of the questions because I was distracted looking at the screen. Thanks,
Well,
Ben.
luckily Mick wasn't distracted, who is the contestant today on Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust? And just to remind Ben how this is played, even though he's played for hundreds of times at this point probably, 15 questions in 90 seconds to get as many questions correct as you can. You're allowed to say pass, and we'll come back to it if you get through the rest. If Mick beats you, he's going to win a $25 gift card. Any questions?
Bring it. Let's go.
All right, let's go. 3, 2, 1. What was the most widely grown crop in the Middle Colonies?
Rice.
How many countries are in Africa?
What? 31.
How many syllables are in the word creation?
Creation. 3.
The Statue of Liberty was a gift to
France.
the U.S. What do you call a scientist who studies rocks?
A geologist.
What 4 countries make up the United Kingdom?
This is always tough. England, Ireland, Wales. Gosh, pass.
What is the capital of Montana?
Bozeman?
What was the year of the first moon landing?
1967.
Which of the 7 wonders of the world is still standing today?
The pyramids.
Who was the president that came after Abraham Lincoln?
God only knows.
An animal who eats only plants is known as what?
Herbivore?
What's faster, sound or light? What travels faster, sound or light?
Light.
What is the hottest planet in the solar system?
Venus.
If all the sides of a triangle are equal, what kind of triangle is it?
Equilateral.
Who wrote Hamlet?
Don't know.
Okay, we're going back to the one you passed on. What 4 countries make up the United Kingdom?
England, Wales, Ireland.
There's one you're missing.
Scotland?
Dang it!
Scotland. Very
I
good,
was gonna
Kyle
say
Wallace.
that.
Scotland? Also, come on, can I just, you don't know who wrote Hamlet?
No.
Isn't that Shakespeare?
Shakespeare.
What the-
Kyle Wallace knows
what?
this.
Chris?
Let's be close.
Ben ekes it out 8-7.
Let's go! What's going on?
Is it equilateral? Is that the one that gave him the
Equilateral
win?
is correct.
Yeah.
Woo! See, if old boy would have just got past,
Yeah. What did he end on? Mick ended on hottest planet in the solar system.
yeah,
You gotta play the game.
You gotta be quick.
You gotta play the game.
He was close on African countries, though.
What is it, 51?
54.
54.
He guessed 50.
Ben was like, what am I supposed to know about Africa? What type of question is that?
If you asked me how many continents were in the or in
Countries.
Asia,
Countries.
I mean, that would be
Whatever.
Asia would be very hard.
Asia, the only one I would get is Australia.
I feel like
North America is 3, right?
Yeah,
Canada,
North America,
Mexico, United States.
Yeah, that'd be.
You said South. If you said South America, I wouldn't get it.
South
If you said
America's
Africa,
good.
if you said Europe, if you said Asia, if you said anything, I wouldn't have got it. So don't put this on Africa.
Asia, there's 48 countries, just so you know.
Cool.
Does Africa have the most at 54?
Africa is
I
the
believe so,
biggest,
yeah.
biggest continent.
I didn't know there were so many
Run through
countries.
the answers.
All right. Anyway, I'm getting distracted here. What was the most widely grown crop in the Middle Colonies? Mick thought corn. You thought rice. Wheat.
Dang, I would have did good on this one.
Yeah. Are you smarter than Ben Bruss, Kyle Wallace version?
Kyle would have did good, surprisingly.
How many countries are in Africa? 54. You guessed in the 30s, and Mick was pretty close at 50.
They said 50, yeah.
How many syllables in the word creation? 3. You both got that right. That never fails, right? The clapping
Creation. No,
never.
it doesn't.
Mick did that. Mick paused, and he probably did the
Clap in his car.
Of course. Statue of Liberty was a gift from France. You nailed that before I even finished the question. A scientist who studies rocks. You correct. Geologist.
We had an official geologist.
What?
In Scalzo and Brust, the old show that I was on, we had an official geologist. So that's the only reason why I know that.
Okay, wow.
Cool.
The 4 countries that make up the United Kingdom. We've had this one before. And it's still the bane of your existence.
It gets me every time.
England, technically Northern Ireland, but we'll accept Ireland, Scotland, and Wales.
I should have put it on. I'm going to put it on next week's test as well.
Yeah, see if you remember it. What's the capital of Montana? Helena. First moon landing. Ben, this is another one. 1969.
Oh, I was going to say 69.
Yeah, 2 years off.
I thought it was before that.
1969. Which of the 7 wonders of the world is still standing today? The Great Pyramid. You got that correct. What president came after Abraham Lincoln? Andrew Johnson.
God only knows.
God only knows.
That was hilarious when you said God knows. I'm going to say, no, probably a lot of 5th graders know, too.
Mick didn't know that one either, though, for reference. An animal that eats only plants is known as an herbivore. You got that correct. Herbivore or herbivore?
Herbivore.
Herbivore.
There's one of those words that I just kind of say herbivore.
Yeah.
Say it fast. Yeah. Can you say herb?
Yeah, herbivore. Which travels faster, sound, or light? Light, you got that one correct. Hottest planet in the solar system, Venus. Well done on that one.
Good job.
Thank you.
Pretty good. If all sides of a triangle are equal, what kind of triangle is that? That's an equilateral triangle. And of course, Kyle Wallace, who wrote Hamlet?
Shakespeare.
There it is.
I thought everybody knew that one.
10-7-1, and are you smarter than Ben Brust? But big news in the world of free agency in the Green Bay Packers. Keyshawn Nixon was just re-signed to a 3-year deal. We'll see the details of the contract. But the big news was Aaron Jones to the Vikings, but Josh Jacobs is going to be a workhorse. And I thought that Dan Orlovsky on Get Up did a fantastic job breaking down how this could elevate Jordan Love. We'll hear from Dan Orlovsky and talk about the impact Josh Jacobs will make and what you think. 800-990-3776. More Kyle Brust Nortman across ESPN Wisconsin next. But first, Kyle, you got some action tonight.
Oh, I got a lot of action tonight, and I'm talking about Underdog fantasy action. I've talked about it for a while now. And listen, sports fans and KBN Nation, I need you all to listen up, and I want you to download the Underdog fantasy app so you can have a great time playing along and watching these games as well. Here's how it works. You pick between 2 to 5 players and from at least 2 different teams. You select higher or lower on those player stats. If your picks hit, you win up to 100 times your money. Yes, 100 times your money. It is so fun to play. So download the easy-to-use Underdog mobile app or visit UnderdogFantasy.com and use our special promo code that we got for you today. It's KBN. Promo code KBN, and Underdog will match your first deposit up to $100. Yes, you put 100 in, they give you 100, and you can have fun playing. And also, they'll give you a mystery special pick to use on your first pick'em entry. Again, that's promo code KBN, and join in on the fun on the Underdog Fantasy app. And remember, must be 18 plus and present in the state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncpgambling.org. Get in the game with Underdog Fantasy.
More next.
This is Kyle Bruston Nortman.
When I'm, again, doing the Pack Arena, and as a shareholder, when I'm sizing up my ring, right now. 1 pack of 2, pack of 3, pack of arena.
Hey.
What's the rest of the words? Jordan love to Christian Watson. Nay, that's a touchdown.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Ben Brust from Kyle Bruston Nortman to tell you how you can go to Vegas and have a chance to win $10,000. You can visit certain locations around Madison to play Pop-A-Shot to qualify for a chance to win. The top 5 scorers from each location will qualify for the finals on March 19th, and that winner will win a trip to Vegas courtesy of Bud Light to compete in the National Mini Hoops Championship and get $10,000 for winning that. On March 15th, visit Danny's from 7 to 8, Red Rock from 8 to 9, and Chasers 2.0 from 9 to 10.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday purchases into extraordinary trips. Plus, receive premium travel benefits like access to over 1,300 airport lounges where you just check in and chill out. Open up a world of possibilities with Capital One. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Every 40 seconds, a child is reported missing. Find the Children is a nonprofit organization dedicated to helping find missing kids. You can be a part of their mission by donating your unwanted car. Call 1-800-294-0222. You'll receive the maximum tax deduction, and we provide fast, free pickup. Call 1-800-294-0222. Donate your unwanted or unused car. Call 1-800-294-0222. This advertisement was paid for in partnership with Cars R Us and Find the Children.
Getting up to 5% back is easy at Fleet Farm. Fleet Rewards members can earn up to 5% back on every purchase, in-store and online. The earnings stack up automatically. The more you buy, the more you earn. No rebates, no coupons, no hassles. And Fleet Rewards membership is easy, so sign up now and start earning up to 5% back on everything you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm. Some exclusions apply.
Zimbrick Chevrolet.
When was the last time you had your oil changed or your tires rotated? Do you need new tires, a battery, perhaps some windshield wipers? Zimbrick Chevrolet Service Center is equipped to help you with routine maintenance, major repairs, and everything in between. Get your free battery inspection coupon and schedule an appointment today at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Don't overpay. Shop Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie.
Main Street, Sun Prairie, Zimbrick Chevrolet.
From color-changing Alexandrite to shimmering zircon and everything in between at Chalmers Jewelers, you'll find high-quality, affordable, one-of-a-kind pieces. We source straight from the gem cutters, and we manufacture in-house from start to finish. As the manufacturer, we believe in truth in pricing. Never pay more for quality and stunning, beautiful jewelry. She's one of a kind, and so should her jewelry be. While others may send your jewelry dreams to someone else to make, with us, your dreams become reality with the help of our custom jewelers, with you involved the whole way. With a staff that has over 200 years of combined experience, why buy from a place that marks up jewelry made by the thousands? When you can buy direct from Chalmers for that one-of-a-kind piece that is better quality, often for less.
Chalmers Jewelers in Middleton
And Madison.
Stoughton Health, in collaboration with patient and family advisors, seeks to advance the healthcare experience at Stoughton Health by providing a forum for past patients and families to provide feedback on a variety of healthcare and other related topics. Advisors offer constructive feedback on their personal journey at Stoughton Health, helping to elevate the patient experience and increase satisfaction. Interested? Please call Amy at 608-873-2308.
Justin chimes in, the official Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust grader of KBN Nation. B+ for Brad. I think that's a good grade.
I think it was good.
You got a little distracted at the end there.
With what?
Not getting to the answers.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And
that's
when
true.
you started my question asking, you started, then stopped, and then started again.
Wow, look at this.
He also had
I actually think he's a B-.
He also had a flub, too, with the caller, Mick, at the very first question out of the gate.
So B+ is generous. I'll take it.
I thought the way that you brought the segment in was excellent. I feel like me challenging you was for the best because I feel like you've done a lot better job of managing.
You were laughing the whole time about what Ben was doing. How would you know what he's doing? How could you grade anything?
I feel like I have gotten better in my bringing the segment in and being good with that. I'm no Ben Brust, but I'm doing
F
better.
for Kyle's reaction to free agency yesterday from Justin as well. And I guess more news.
I think I have a hater there in Justin.
No, he just sees
No,
things.
man, no,
he
Justin
sees.
gave me a
fine.
C-
Then I'm a hater too because
Okay.
you deserve the bad grades you got for Are You Smarter Than Ben Brust and for your bad reaction yesterday for being too emotional.
I think I was right on par for myself.
For yourself, yes.
That's an A.
But not very smart like Brad Nye. Other news, I won't call this breaking news. Corey Ballantyne.
Is he coming back?
Signs with the Green Bay Packers.
All right,
Re-signed.
I'll take that. I know he was cheap. He was on the cheap.
I mean, what was that? Exclusive rights free agent or what? I mean, was it?
Brad expected the lowest.
He provided depth though.
He
I like
did.
That.
He played well when he was called upon.
Ballantyne.
Yeah, we get to keep the law firm together. Ben, details or what? Or
I'm waiting on details. Nothing other than just giving you the news. Greg in the 608. Ballantyne back now too. Look, I got a lot of great producers. KBN Nation feeding me info. YouTube feeding info. Love it. Chris working hard back there, and YouTube buffoons just ready for me to toss you a question to rock and roll. And here's where I want you to react to. Dan Orlovsky of ESPN was on Get Up. And as we talk about the Josh Jacobs for Aaron Jones swappage, I think this is impactful.
What do we think about Green Bay?
Yeah, top 3 or 4 offense in the conference next year, and this is an offense that I would bet on making a lot of problems for defenses. Greeny, Josh Jacobs is a bell cow, and while they were really good offensively last year, specifically late in the season, when you add a player like Josh Jacobs, it is, hey, every down we can potentially run the football. We don't have to necessarily mix and match like they did with a little bit A.J. Dillon and Aaron Jones. If you go back 2 years, just 2022, he ran for over 1,600 yards and 5 yards per carry. But this is what's crazy. He ran for over 1,000 yards on first down alone that year. That's where you're going to see the impact for that offense. Imagine this Matt LaFleur offense that loves to be that play-action game and run the football and the speed and the weapons they have on the outside now being dominant on first down. You're talking about setting Jordan Love up, not for success, but for the potential for domination offensively. If they stay healthy on the perimeter and that back stays healthy like he did in 2022, this is an offense that looks to be a top 3 or top 4 one in the conference.
That was Dan Orlovsky on Get Up this morning with Greeny. A lot of good stuff there, I thought.
Yeah, a couple things that jumped out to me. One, hard physical runner. I love the fact that he's a guy that you can just keep giving the ball to and he will keep punishing. Here's one thing I heard offenses say all the time. Ready? You win third downs by winning the early downs. That's exactly what Josh Jacobs can do for you. If he can 1,000 yards on first down,
That's
alone,
a good tagline. That's exactly what Josh Jacobs can do for you.
That's exactly right. I feel like I'm in the Josh Jacobs selling category right now. But imagine if you can get in third and manageable almost every possession, makes thirds down so much easier. Jordan Love, the field opens up for him. The other thing I think of Kyle Shanahan. I think of the physical running backs he had. Raheem Mostert. You've got Christian McCaffrey, who's fast and physical. And they were trying to implement that as well in Miami. Aaron Jones was great running back for the Shanahan and Matt LaFleur system. I feel like a guy like Josh Jacobs, who can be a physical downhill runner to complement all the speed, is going to filter in so well with the scheme.
Yeah, so overall, I mean, I like what Dan Orlovsky said. I mean, the thing I did not know is 1,000 yards on first down. That's heavy. Like, that's big time. And
that's hard to wrap your head
around. 1,000-yard season in itself is special. 1,000 yards on first down? I mean, the reason why, and if you're thinking, well, how come he only got 600 yards on second, third? Because they got him in third and manageable or second and short, which they were able to probably take advantage of. And if the Raiders were able to have a 1,000-yard first down rusher, imagine what Matt LaFleur could do with that.
That's a tremendous asset. And so one thing when I was evaluating this and looking at Aaron Jones, I believe he had like 5-point-something yards per carry. I mean, incredible slasher burst. I mean, what he does is fantastic. But knowing that you can win, and like you just said, make that second down so much more manageable. Knowing that guys have to load up for Josh Jacobs, that is a positive. But again, when it comes down to this, in order for this to be a good move, in my perspective, because one thing that Josh Jacobs is going to have to do, and I did a little bit of research, he seems like a really good dude, and that captain and the C on his chest wasn't just for performance, it's also for the guy that he is in the locker room, which is a positive. But at the end of the day, in order for this to be a win for the Green Bay Packers, Josh Jacobs must be the Josh Jacobs of the 2022 season, and Josh Jacobs must play up to his contract of being a top 5 running back in the NFL. That is the only way that this is an acceptable signing and getting rid of Aaron Jones is if Josh Jacobs lives up to this contract. There are a lot of expectations that come with the contract, and I expect them to deliver. And the Packers, if they're going to win football games, they need Josh Jacobs to be a dog.
800-990-3776. Do you think Josh Jacobs will have a bigger impact than Aaron Jones on this offense? I mean, for me, real quick, I think what I would like to add in there is I think Orlovsky talked about they can run the ball on all 3 downs. Obviously, the success on first down was huge. But if you have a guy who is a threat, what does that mean, right? A threat means that the safeties are going to come up more. And that opens up more even if he's just a threat. And so I hate to put the expectations of he's got to be 2022, he's got to get 2,000 yards, because who knows who they add as a complimentary back. But if he can be a guy that obviously goes for 4+ yards a carry, you can give 20+ times, and Jordan Love can take advantage of the threat that he is and the punishing that he does to defenses to wear him down. I love it. And you mentioned Christian McCaffrey. Yes, I know he's not Christian McCaffrey out the backfield, but Christian McCaffrey's an anomaly, and that's why Christian McCaffrey's getting paid more than any running back. But like when I watch the Niners play and I watch McCaffrey continuously run downhill, gosh, to have a guy consistently just come at you, from a player's perspective, even watching the sideline as a punter, you got to be like, I'm glad I'm not tackling this guy.
Oh, yeah. When you have a punishing running back, you just look at it, and every time he totes the rock, you're just like, I'm so thankful he's on my team. And every time that I was lucky enough to play on teams that had good offenses, what inevitably happens when you're on a good team? You play when you have a lead, right? This offense, it's really, really good. They're going to be prolific. They're going to put up a lot of points. Defense, I think it's going to take a season or two to get them up to speed. I think the Packers are going to be playing with the lead a lot next season. What do you do when you play with the lead? You run the football. You drain the clock. This is a guy who can put up points for you. He can also shorten the game by just hammering home the rock. And you can trust Josh Jacobs to be there in the game plan and to just tote the rock end of game when you have the lead. That's so powerful when it comes to game plan.
Oh, I liked how Brad took off his punter hat and started getting like physical talk, Brad.
It's somewhere in there. It's deep in there, but it pops its head out.
But the job is not done for Goody, right? When you look at this position, and Ben, you alluded to it a little bit earlier, is the complement. What is going to complement this, right? And you have to find a complimentary back to go with Josh Jacobs. You need to find that change of pace type dude. He's going to be a punishing running back. He's going to be a dude that delivers. He's the hammer to your nail. That's exactly what he's going to do. But you have to find a complement, because the Packers are going to be looking at a brand new backfield, because before it was either a heavy dose of Aaron Jones with a little bit of A.J. Dillon, or A.J. Dillon leading it and trying to have all these running backs filtering behind them. The Packers need to make sure that they come into the season with this position being complete, because you never know what can happen, and the Packers need to be prepared for anything. But again, I prefer Aaron Jones, but I am not disappointed to have Josh Jacobs, because he is an undeniable talent.
And just real quick, you said if you want Josh Jacobs to play up to this contract. If Josh Jacobs plays to this contract, this team is going to be so good. They're going to be knocking on the door to the Super Bowl for the next 4 years.
When you say the contract, you're saying the 4 years.
Yeah, or if he plays to the caliber of a $12 million running back,
okay,
whether it be this year or throughout the contract.
Well, Goody's going to restructure him like 8 times and then kick him out of here.
Well, the way that the contract was put together, it looks like he ain't got to worry about
it's year by
that.
year.
My goodness,
it's year by year.
I mean, no, it's very similar to the 4 years, $48 million that Aaron Jones was offered. Obviously, not in terms of the amount of money that Jones was guaranteed at the time, but this is the way the league's going. 800-990-3776.
But when I do take emotion out of it yesterday, right? Because I was emotional yesterday. I understand that. Any Packer fan that's dedicated to this team, when you lose a player like that in Aaron Jones, it is going to be a little bit of time that you need to process, right? And I had time to process this. And after I processed this, Josh Jacobs is a tremendous running back. You don't get 1,600 yards just by luck, right? You don't come in your rookie year and rush for 1,000 yards back-to-back seasons, have 12 touchdowns plus. You don't do that by any type of luck, especially on a team like the Las Vegas Raiders, who aren't that consistent of a franchise and great of a team. And so when you take away the emotion and you take away the fact that you really love what Aaron Jones meant to this team, it is, for me, it is an even swap where you are swapping out a 29-year-old for a 26-year-old that has a little bit more power, has, not more speed, but also has a little bit more left in the tank. So at the end of the day, yesterday we asked Brian Bulaga, is this a net negative or a net positive? I do believe now, after 24 hours, that the signing of Josh Jacobs will be a net positive for the Green Bay Packers. I did not believe that yesterday at this time, but after being able to evaluate, watch some things, and learn some things, this will be a net positive for the Green Bay Packers because I trust in Jordan Love and what they're going to build around this team.
And I always trust them. I go to the Princeton Club. I'm going to be at a place where it is going to invite me to make a better tomorrow for myself. And I tell you what, when you walk in there, all you need to have is the courage. Courage is the main word. When you get the tour of the Princeton Club facilities, it is next level. Clean. Childcare is free with the membership. I cannot reiterate that enough. I mean, think about how you could drop your kid off. That's big for me as a new dad. And then, boom, I am able to get it done with somebody helping taking care of my wonderful child. So, again, that was a Freudian slip there. Find your better tomorrow. 8 Madison locations, 1 in New Berlin. Have the courage. You will get it done. 800-990-3776. Ron on the Key chimes in. I was emotional yesterday, says Kyle. Yesterday?
Yesterday, I was
How
emotional
about
yesterday.
every day?
I am who I am. You know what I'm saying? I wear my emotions on my sleeve, and I think rightfully so. As any Green Bay, Ryan and the Key ain't a real Packers fan. That's what that is. Ryan and the Key just wants to go back and forth. A real Packers fan is going to take yesterday's subtraction of Aaron Jones to heart and going to take it hard. So I want everybody in KBN Nation, people in Packer Nation, to understand that I have empathy for you, and I share your emotions with you.
Justin the 262, Kyle Backpedal Wallace. They keep on coming in. 800-990-3776. He's going to blame me in a week that I did this. But this is KBN Nation holding you accountable.
That's okay.
We hear from you, KBN Nation, 800-990-3776. Keep calling Kyle a fraud. It's always fun. Next.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman.
I'll say that, man. Mark Chmura, every time I see him in the morning, get my coffee, I walk right by here, and I look at him, I'm like, man, that's a handsome dude.
Oh, so you got to cull up with him too, huh?
I'd love to. I feel like I'd fit right in. He's 6'6", I'd be the little spoon with you.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
Getting up to 5% back is easy at Fleet Farm. Fleet Rewards members can earn up to 5% back on every purchase, in-store and online. The earnings stack up automatically. The more you buy, the more you earn. No rebates, no coupons, no hassles. And Fleet Rewards membership is easy, so sign up now and start earning up to 5% back on everything you need for everyday life at Fleet Farm. Some exclusions apply.
Ben Brust here, and if you want a shot to win a trip for 2 to Vegas and $10,000 courtesy of Bud Light, well, you have to visit certain locations around Madison and play Pop a Shot for a chance to win. The top 5 scorers from each location will qualify for the finals on March 19th. The winner from the finals will win a trip to Vegas courtesy of Bud Light to compete in the National Mini Hoops Championship for 10 G's. Make sure you get to Wando's tonight from 9 to 10:30 p.m. and Jay's from 10:30 to midnight. You have a chance to win 10 G's. Just qualify, baby.
When it comes to security for your home and family, you want a winner, and we found one when we placed our trust with J&K Security Solutions. This is Greg Gard. Kim and Jeff hit the game-winning shot for us with the Control 4 home technology system. Home or away, from our smartphones, we can open the garage door, dim the lights, turn on the TV, as well as arm the security system. That's convenience as well as peace of mind. Let J&K Security Solutions do for your home or business like they've done for us. Call 255-5799 or online at jksecurity.com.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it yourself at 2 convenient Madison locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Honda certified technicians handle it all. You can even get flexible payment options. Fix your car now and pay later. Apply online to see your options in seconds with no hard credit check. Make your service appointment online at ZimbrickHonda.com. Zimbrick Honda Service Center on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Hey, Drew Scott here, and I'm Jonathan Scott, reminding you that life's better with a home policy from American Family Insurance. They can help you get just the right protection at just the right price and help you save when you bundle home and auto. Kind of like Goldilocks and the Three Bears. It'll be just right for you. We love a custom build. American Family Insurance. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Make it a real Mad March with a playoff payout at Potawatomi. Every week you could score your share of $100,000 in cash and free play. Play this March for drawing entries. Win each Thursday. Plus, the prizes refresh every week for even more winners. The playoff payout at Potawatomi, Milwaukee. It's anyone's game. For more details, visit paysbig.com/payout. Must be 21 and a club member to play.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sport called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian, taste what all the screamin' is about.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, sponsored by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin and Wisconsin On Demand.
Come on, let's sweat! If you're like me, you don't have time to watch every Bucks game or every minute of every Bucks game. That's why Bucks Plus has you covered, because they have the biggest plays on the court, the comments made in the locker room after the game, an in-depth recap of every single Bucks game. And guess what? It's in 6 minutes. No more, no less. It's called Bucks in 6. You can find it on the Bucks Plus Radio Network. If you miss any part of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments of the game, Bucks in 6 provides the game recaps every morning after the game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis or the deep threes from Dame, and catch the comments in post-game about what happened on the court. Bucks in 6 on Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on Bucks Plus, on bucks.com/plus, or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
800-990-3776. Serious question. Worst Kyle moment? The vomit orange shirt from weeks ago or his performance yesterday on the show?
Oh, wow.
We also have
I love that shirt. And Ben, you love it too.
I do too.
Thank you.
We also have a fun back and forth here as a couple people were late to YouTube on ESPN Milwaukee and ESPN Madison battling in the chat here. And people like Mike in the Mike 7896. Kyle should be a politician. The way he backpedaled there from his take yesterday.
You know, I've been told I would be a really good politician. I may be one.
You're likable.
Hey.
Is he?
Taking action, getting results. That's my style. Vote for Kyle.
Oh, jeez.
I've actually used that before.
Carlito the Bear Badger on Jacobs compared to Aaron Jones. Not comparing, but compared to. What are we looking at?
Hey guys, it's Carlito. How are you?
We're great.
Good and
I want
good.
you to bring the heat as you always do.
I'm bringing the heat. First of all, orange is always in style. We say orange. I don't say orange, I say orange. And orange is always in style. I'm not going to say why. I think you know why I like orange. Come on, orange.
Am I missing something?
I don't.
No, I mean, the fashion, the bust, and, Kyle, he should wear orange. It's good. The comparison is not really close because Aaron Jones is dominating 5.0 yards per carry. He's out of the backfield. He's dominant. He takes over a game. He scares us as Bear fans. There's really no comparison. There's nobody in Green Bay Packer history that has more yards per carry. Only Aaron Rodgers is close. And we're talking about the greats, Ahmad Green, the great Jim Taylor, the great ones. Gronk, Lacey, they're all less yards per carry. I really like this guy. I wish he was on the Bears.
Thank you for the call, Carlito. What just happened?
So what does it have to do with the Packers versus everybody? It's just against the Bears, apparently.
I mean,
maybe Chris, that's on you. I'm mad at you. Screen
He's
that call better.
He is the Bear Badger.
Well, he's the Bear Badger. Of course, he's going to talk about the Badgers or the Bears.
I'm confused about the orange thing.
Yeah, I'm still. What the hell was that? Does anybody but Carlito know what the orange thing is? Because if you do know, please text in.
Yes.
Don't call if it's inappropriate.
And look,
because I don't know what the heck he's talking about.
I don't know.
And I don't even know. The way he said orange made me so uncomfortable.
I want to re-say it, but I also don't.
I don't know if
my mouth is going to allow me to.
Chris,
orange.
I have no idea.
I mean,
I'm clueless what he was talking about the whole orange thing.
And Chris is pretty. He knows a lot.
Yeah.
Chris is our pulse of what
Yeah.
the hell is going on when we don't know what the hell is going on.
I guess that's Carlito's way.
Hey, nice job.
Oh, very good. I will say with the Jones thing, there's no doubt Aaron Jones is a very good back. The problem is, and 5 yards a carry for his career, that's very impressive. That's like top 10.
We've
NFL.
talked. We've had whole discussions about why he doesn't get it 25 to 30 times. It's because they can't give him it.
It's right. And like we always have to remember when they sign a contract, don't think so much about what the player has done. Think more about what you expect the player to do. And Aaron Jones is going to be 30 years old. There's question marks as to whether he can stay healthy. So the question to me is not 5 yards a carry. The question is, how many carries can we give him? And if you can't give him that many carries because of injury or workload or whatever, then he's just not as valuable as you would like him to be.
Now, I wish Kyle had the stones to stand on his opinion. Let me say that because Diana in McGuanago, Kyle's #1 fan. Kyle, you think it was a good idea to get rid of Aaron Jones now? We'll see. I still think they're going to regret it. Kyle's #1 fan, Diana. So Diana,
wait a minute.
Diana, who hasn't been in radio, gives an opinion, stands by it. Kyle gives an emotional opinion. And then because groupthink, all the Packer backers are for Josh Jacobs now, Kyle wants to backpedal and be a politician.
My words have been misconstrued. I said before the show, when we started the show, I still prefer Aaron Jones, but I'm not as upset or disappointed about it. Brad just brought up a great point. I'm not. Listen. I speak facts, all right? No fake news here. Kyle, don't bring you that.
Politicians say that too, though.
You have lost all credibility.
This is where my evaluation stands. I still think going into next season, the Packers were better positioned to have Aaron Jones on this roster, draft somebody, and then transition over to that somebody. But here's the reality of the situation. We have Josh Jacobs, so I need to evaluate this team based off Josh Jacobs. And based off Josh Jacobs, Brad talked about don't evaluate now, evaluate what they can give you. By 29, Josh Jacobs will have given you 3 solid seasons with the Green Bay Packers and hopefully championship seasons with the Green Bay Packers. So now I need to move forward.
So if the Packers don't win a championship, it's on Josh Jacobs?
No, it's not. It's not on Josh Jacobs. It'd be on Goody if the Packers don't win a championship. This team right now, they have
because you're so sad about Aaron Jones. I wouldn't be shocked if in 3 years he goes if they don't win a championship. Oh, that Aaron Jones went to the Vikings for a year and $7 million.
Don't sit here and act like Aaron Jones couldn't have contributed to this team. This team was Super Bowl ready almost this year.
Oh my gosh! Everyone is past this except you.
Who? What do you mean? Listen, Aaron Jones, we would have been better off with Aaron Jones this year, but I am okay with Josh Jacobs because he is a bell cow. He is a great running back. We will be okay. We will be fine, but we would have been okay and would have been fine with Aaron Jones this year and not Josh Jacobs. That is what I'm saying, and none of you can deny that.
I don't know.
Deny it. Deny it.
Look, the thing I will give you.
It's talking in circles with you. Yeah. Give him a bone. Don't give him the whole thing. Give him a bone.
The thing I will give you, the thing I have really little rebuttal on, is the locker room leadership and the shepherding of this young talent. I understand that, and I agree. If Jason,
part of a team.
If Jason Wilde says, I don't know who is ready to step up and he can't give us an answer, and Aaron Jones was that guy, I assume somebody will. These are grown men, they're professional athletes, but I will give you that.
But that's part of
leaves
sports.
a void, and it's not the main factor, though.
Kyle changes his mind like my first wife's changing our wedding vows. Chris, the former O-Town, now an Ashoda resident. I got to read it. Kyle changes his mind like my first wife keeps wedding vows. There it is.
Oh, whatever. Wow. Listen, bottom line is this. Y'all want to act like locker room doesn't matter. How many broken locker rooms have won championships? Don't worry, I'll wait.
Why are you okay? I'm addressing this on the other side. Broken locker room.
That's too far.
What locker room is broken? Shut your butt up.
It's not gonna fall
You're done.
apart.
You're done. I addressed the locker room and the emotional leadership nonsense that everyone thinks the Packers are going to suck now if they don't have a brain like Kyle does, and thinking Aaron Jones is the only guy, that knows how to lead.
If they have a broken locker room, blame Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love.
Tausch literally said it's the circle of life. It's the nature of football. I'm going to listen to Mark Tauscher. I'm going to pull a page out of Kyle's book. I'm going to listen to the Packer Hall of Famer who's been there. But instead, I'm not going to do it today because I'm going to believe in my Aaron Jones take from yesterday.
You just take something, you just paint the way you want. That ain't what I said. My goodness. This is why the whole talking text line down my throat because of you. You done called me a fraud again today. Get rid of that energy.
Did I not say that in 30 minutes Kyle's going to blame me for everyone calling him a fraud?
Even that was too funny. That is too funny.
Oh, man. 800-990-3776. I get to your calls. I get to your texts. Plus, I do want to address the leadership concern because Brian Balaga has some issues potentially with the guys coming from bad cultures and losing teams. Next.
This is Kyle Brust-Nortman, KBN.
Yeah, let them do it. I ain't doing it.
You're not going to hurt our
No,
feelings.
come on.
Just mine.
Homer, come on.
Yo, suck. I should be doing this time. I should be 2-6. That good enough for you? You need any more?
That's fair. Don.
Need any more? One? Us?
Yeah.
Y'all 2, 3, 4. You're all the same. There we Nobody's as good as me.
On ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
This is Kyle, Brust, and Nortman, sponsored by Bud Light on ESPN Wisconsin and Wisconsin On Demand.
There's a good chance if you watch sports, you're getting served information about hormone optimization. What does that even mean? Dr. Ness Rodriguez at Carbon World Health can tell you exactly what hormone optimization means. He will take your blood work and let you know if it's right for you. If you're feeling sluggish, not losing weight like you used to, you're not gaining muscle like you used to, or you just don't feel like yourself in most aspects of your life, go see Dr. Ness Rodriguez at Carbon World Health. In fact, sign up for the 6-week experience so you can see everything that Carbon World Health has to offer, including hormone optimization. Learn more at carbonworldhealth.com.
You, rah. Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin present your Badger Minute. Here's Alex Strofe.
Varsity on Wisconsin On Demand is home to all the latest and best Badgers content on ESPN Wisconsin. Subscribe on Apple, Spotify, Wisconsin On Demand, and wherever you get your podcasts. On Tuesday, the Big Ten announced its all-conference team selections for men's basketball, and 4 Badgers make the list. A.J. Storr headlined the selections, making the All-Big Ten second team and becomes the first Badgers second-team selection since Brad Davison in 2022. Chucky Hepburn and Tyler Wall each earned their second honorable mention accolades in their careers. And freshman John Blackwell became the 9th player in program history to earn Big Ten All-Freshman team accolades. The Badgers are set to tip off Big Ten tournament action Thursday afternoon.
Get no interest for up to 3 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Don't wait. You have to order by March 31st. Visit PellaWI.com.
Ben Brust here to tell you about the Princeton Club. I joined the Princeton Club because I was looking for a place I could invest in my health, and the environment and the community I have felt has made it so easy for me to incorporate it into my everyday life. It doesn't matter where you're at in your fitness journey because they have something to offer everyone. It also goes beyond fitness. From the moment you walk in the club to the moment you walk out, there is a togetherness felt throughout the members and staff that keeps you going for your better tomorrow. Don't wait any longer and get started on your fitness journey today at PrincetonClub.net. That's PrincetonClub.net.
Zimbrick Chevrolet.
When was the last time you had your oil changed or your tires rotated? Do you need new tires, a battery, perhaps some windshield wipers? Zimbrick Chevrolet Service Center is equipped to help you with routine maintenance, major repairs, and everything in between. Get your free battery inspection coupon and schedule an appointment today at ZimbrickChevrolet.com. Don't overpay. Shop Zimbrick Chevrolet on Main Street in Sun Prairie.
Main Street, Sun Prairie. Zimbrick Chevrolet.
If you want a fresh twist on surf and turf, look no further than North and South Seafood and Smokehouse. Inspired by their time living in the Alaskan Gulf in southern Texas, owners Keith and Aaron brought together unique culinary backgrounds to create a truly authentic American restaurant here in Madison. After expanding to 2 more locations in DeForest and Verona, you can savor smoky, wood-fired barbecue and freshly prepared seafood from around the country. Explore their full menu and dining options at eatnorthandsouth.com. That's eatnorthandsouth.com.
The 24th annual Madison St. Patrick's Day Parade is taking place on Sunday, March 17th at 1:30 around the Capitol Square. Join us for an afternoon of music, dancing, and family-friendly fun featuring Emmy Award-winning Grand Marshal Brady Mallory. Don't forget incredible acts like the Kissers, Bucky Badger, the UW Marching Band, and Madison Bagpipers. Donations make it possible. Huge thanks to our sponsors JP Cullen and J&K Security. Save the date, spread the word, and be part of the Madison St. Patrick's Day Parade.
For official rules and more information about every contest on 100.5 ESPN, visit ESPNWisconsinContests.com. That's ESPNWisconsinContests.com. You're listening to 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN app.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offer the Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
You're listening to Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin and WisconsinOnDemand.com.
All I know is the grand opening of the all-new sportsbook at Potawatomi Casino Hotel is the first week in May, so get that in your calendars. It is the best place to be, folks. Light up your senses. PaysBig.com. Look, I'll go there for the craps table, the roulette table, the blackjack table, the slots. They also have bingo if that's your sort of thing. But I also know that I got the best sportsbook in town. I can go right over there. I can place my bets on the computer, get my QR code on my phone, put it underneath, put the money in, boom, I'm out. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. It's amazing. Potawatomi Sportsbook. Check it out. I'm Ben Brust, alongside Kyle Wallace, Brad Nortman, and Chris Larson running the show. And I do want to hear from Brian Balaga, who was on with us as well as the Homer Hour yesterday from 5 to 6 on 94.5 ESPN. Could you just shut up? Brian Balaga yesterday said this. Maybe.
Failure for this team.
Give me
I look at it as that until I'm proven otherwise, that these guys can perform with the scrutiny and pressure that it is and expectations of a winning franchise. I'm not saying you shouldn't sign Pro Bowl players. Heck, sign them all if we can. If it's possible to fill the roster with all of them, let's do it. But to walk away and just say, man, we made out like a bandit, this is going to be great, they've solved everything, I'm just not there yet until I see it. And I'm not saying these two guys aren't good players, and I'm not saying that, they may not be great players for the team, but there's a different level of expectation when you come to Green Bay. And there just is. And maybe the fans don't understand that as well as players do, that there's a lot of pressure when you play for these, top organizations like now Kansas City and Green Bay. And but there's a certain expectation that you're supposed to, especially when you get paid the amount that these two guys are getting paid. And so when they spend this type of money, Pro Bowl player or not, when you come from a team that doesn't do a lot of winning, you don't really understand the expectation of what it takes to, be on a team where the expectations are always high year in and year out, and anything other than, well, it was with Aaron, Super Bowl or failure, but now kind of getting into that second round of the playoffs is going to be a failure for this team.
That was Brian Balaga on the Homer Hour yesterday on 94.5 ESPN, former Packer tackle. Look, I'm all about making sure that my eyes see them fit with the team before I get overly excited. But that is if I was talking about guys that are unproven, and these guys played at Alabama. Nick Saban is likely more demanding as a college coach than Matt LaFleur is on his guys. And that's just a coaching style. Like that's nothing against how Matt LaFleur goes about like coaching his players, but he's not like known as I'm really super, super tough on my guys. He's more of a relaxed players type coach who obviously has the respect of his guys, but he's not a yeller, a screamer, a Dan Campbell, like a high-voiced motivator. All I know is those two guys played at Alabama. They know what expectations of winning are. And they're all pro guys with a captain on their jersey for their respective teams. Losing or not, they are professionals. And if Brian Balaga wants to talk about how there's a different level of expectations when you come to Green Bay, well, if 1265 in Green Bay has such high expectations, then I sure as hell hope that the team has that, like, when they walk in that building, they feel it. Like, there shouldn't be much that they have to do other than, hey, guys, like, welcome to Green Bay. We're going to go to work. Like, there shouldn't be this massive transition for professionals that are really elite at their craft.
Yeah, and most players that haven't experienced that winning, they thrive. They hunger for that winning culture, and they're going to get right in line with it. That's at least my expectation. I do think Xavier McKinney has experienced what pressure to win looks like in New York Giants and what life looks like with pressure in a fishbowl in the big city. So I think he's going to adjust just fine. And you said they both played in Bama. It was well known, at least when I was playing. Maybe it's changed a little bit with Georgia, but Ohio State and Bama, those are the two most NFL-like programs that there are in college football. That's why they adjust so well to the NFL, Ohio State and Bama. And honestly, too, Green Bay, it's a healthy winning culture, right? I think guys go well and they adjust well. The prime Bill Belichick days of New England, guys would enter that winning culture, and it wasn't so easy to adjust. Like, they did things really different there. But Green Bay is closer to, like, Baltimore and Pittsburgh, in my opinion, where it's, like, stable. It's there's a rich history. It's a comfortable winning culture that guys mold into there well. So I think they're going to adjust just fine. My personal opinion, we don't know exactly, but I think they're going to adjust just fine.
Here's one thing. I may have a love-hate relationship with Brian Gutekunst as our general manager of the Green Bay Packers, but one thing I will not question is this Packer organization and them doing their due diligence on every player that they get. This team does not take chances. Trust me. As Packer fans, we know we were yelling and screaming about trade for Randy Moss. Brett Favre said, get Randy Moss, and Randy Moss went somewhere else and put up big numbers. But here's the thing. The Packers do not take risks on low-character players. The Packers always do their due diligence. This is not the first free agent signing that the Green Bay Packers have ever done. And when I evaluate the past free agent signings, when we talk about a Zadarius Smith, we talk about a Preston Smith who's still on the roster, we talk about an Adrian Amos, we talk about a Julius Peppers. We can go on and on and on. The Packers do their due diligence when finding these players. So one thing I will not question is the character of a Josh Jacobs and a Xavier McKinney, because if they had low character, if they had any red flags, they would not be signing with the Green Bay Packers tomorrow when they get the first opportunity to do it. So that's something I'm not going to question, so I think they'll be okay.
Gary in the 608 chimes in. Thank you, Ben. Best thing you've said all day. It's never good when I have a good take.
You find all your little good comments anywhere, huh?
At Ben Brust, I'm not sure I've heard anything more accurate. Preach.
Wow.
Having a good day today. Pat yourself on the back,
Love
Ben.
it.
Woohoo!
Good day.
Kyle Wallace will continue to be in his feels in the next hour in the 414.